he's not.
You and I.
Oh.
I start vacation. You're right.
Is she on top? Tap you.
They have to turn on
Yeah.
there.
All right, yeah, we do.
Are we missing anybody yet? Yeah. Is Commissioner Marabito, are you on the phone?
He had sent me a message that he will not be participating. No, we have six.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Commissioner,
Yes.
you don't want to wait until we get word on the live stream?
Not really.
Oh, it's on.
It's on? At this time, I'd like to convene the prison board and seek approval of the previous minutes.
Make a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. And now we'll move on to public comments on agenda items only. Hearing none, let's move to the approval of bills.
I'll move.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Judge Butts and made the motion and Scott seconded it. So what I was curious, looking at the expenses, was the kitchen supplies and food. And in January, I believe, no, it was, we had 48,774, and we're down to 31,992, and that's something because of the COVID and the reduction of.
Actually, the kitchen supplies and food for the prison is at $25,876.
Well, the whole category.
Oh, the whole category, I got you, yes.
Oh, I see what, yeah, I added both columns up. The general services and supplies. and
Yes,
maintenance.
yes. Yes, there is a reduction in the spending, but we are seeing an increase in the cost of food due to COVID-19.
So let's take break it down into just one category. So in the kitchen supplies and food, the last one, January was 32, so we still had a decrease. Any other comments? On the approval of bills? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Looks like there's no approval of personnel actions.
No, there were no hirings in May.
All right, we'll go to informational highlights.
Thank you, Commissioner. The population report for May of 2020 indicates that at the prison, we averaged 151.87 males, and at the pre-release center, we averaged 31.45 males for an average daily population of 183.32, and there was a peak during the month of 193. For females, there were an average of 24.61 at the prison, 3.55 at the pre-release center, for an average daily population of 28.16 with a peak of 33. Our average daily population, males and females, at the prison and pre-release center then was 211.48 with a peak of 224. We carried 30.29 clients, male clients on in-home detention, and 7.39 female on in-home detention. There were no overcrowding transfers for the month of May, so our average daily population then is 211.48. You can see the comparison for the months in 2020. We started out the year at 328, we're down to 211, but we are seeing a slight increase from April to May of just shy of 10 inmates. We were at 201.89 last month. Just to give you an idea also, if you look at May of 2019, our average daily population at that time was 337.06. So there's still a significant decrease in the population for 2020, and most of that I would believe is attributed to COVID-19. The next report is the prison discipline report. In the month of May, the Prison Disciplinary Committee held 30 disciplinary hearings. 18 of those hearings were a result of an inmate admitting guilt to the offense. There were none that were found guilty with time suspended. There were 11 inmates found guilty, and there was 1 inmate that was found not guilty. There were also 24 inmates total of the hearings being held, and 6 of those had greater than 1 incident, and staff during the month generated 39 informational reports. Deputy Warden Barnes, do you have anything that you wish to add regarding the prison disciplinary hearing report?
No.
Moving on to the pre-release center report. In the month of May, the pre-release center averaged 31 males on work crew and 4 females on work crew. We're still suspending work release out at the pre-release center due to COVID-19. And there was a average for the year of 50 males and 13 females. No program highlights, again, because all programming is suspended too.
So Warden, so I guess we need to keep in mind that as we look at the end of the year, this year, as we get into next year, as we look at the historical data, we're going to see skewed data because of the 2020 COVID situation.
Absolutely, and it's also going to have to be factored in when we look at our budget. We can plan for next year's budget. We don't necessarily want to plan on the numbers that we're seeing in 2020. We want to look at the numbers we're going to see potentially in 2021. On to the bail release program report. In May of 2020, the bail release program averaged a total of 145.65 clients on the bail release program. That's broken down to 67.84 on supervised bail, 72.16 on intensive supervised bail, and 5.65 on supervised release serving driving under suspension sentences. That equates to a bed day saved for the month of 4,515. The last report is the mental health snapshot report. This snapshot was taken on June 9th of 2020, and on that day there were 270 total inmates counted in the mental health snapshot, 229 males, and of that the breakdown was 118 males were under roster A with no mental health history, 40 were under roster B with previous mental health history but nothing active within the last year, 64 were on roster C with current mental health history, and roster D had 7 that were considered seriously mentally ill. 41 females were counted on this day, and that's a breakdown of 12 under roster A, 5 under roster B, 19 under roster C, and 5 under roster D. If we look at the psychotropic medications at the pre-release center, there were 28 male work crew inmates counted, and 8 of which were on meds for an average of 28.57. There were 2 female work crew residents, and both of those residents were on psychotropic meds for 100%. At the prison, there was 154 male inmates, 26 of which were on psych meds for an average of 16, or a percentage of 16.88, and females, there were 26 Female inmates, 9 of which were on meds for a percentage of 34.62. The total inmates on meds at the pre-release center was 33.33. Total percentage at the prison was 19.44, and then the total for the prison population as a whole was 21.43%. Additional informational highlights. On May 5th, 2020, the Commissioners proclaimed May 4th through the 8th of 2020 as Corrections Employee Week in Lycoming County. We greatly appreciate that recognition from the Commissioners, and that's also a state initiative, as you well know. Other counties in the state recognize that week as Corrections Employee Week in Pennsylvania. On May 8th, 2020, Deputy Warden Ebner and I participated in the Lycoming County CJAB meeting. And on May 22nd of 2020, I participated in the PIMIC Board of Directors meeting. That was held in Harrisburg, but it was held remotely with COVID-19. And that's all the informational highlights that I have.
Thank you, Ward. Anybody like to make any comments? Okay, move on to some old business, reentry. Who's,
I'm speaking
oh, there
to
you,
Commissioner.
okay, how are you doing? I didn't recognize you.
Yeah, I know, it's the hair. In the month of May, we had 14 intakes at reentry services. We currently have a population of 83 in the reentry service center and 54 participants on electronic monitoring. The facility reopened to on-site check-ins on May 11th, and including urinalysis being done on-site. And we also reopened to on-site individual counseling on June 1st. We're continuing to do group and individual programming via tele and video conferencing at that time, but we're preparing to move forward with on-site with those services as well in the future. And that's it.
Thank you. Okay, we look at the prison board meetings coming up. I guess the courthouse is scheduled next.
Yes, it would be in the basement juvenile conference room on July 10th.
Any new business? Hearing none, any public comment? We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Who wanted to go on that board, you or your wife? Probably her. I wanted the venue. I would. Yeah.
Get out and stretch.
Oh, hell yeah.
Back upstairs. Yep. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Especially in.
Which is fun. More fun. I will keeping an eye on the community, and I've been going to it now.
All right.
Just want to go back here?
Yeah. The board or not.